So good afternoon and welcome to the Global Press Conference for Nope. And we're very lucky to have with us here today Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer, who play OJ and Emerald Haywood respectively, two key characters, siblings, in this extraordinary movie by Jordan Peele. Thank you so much, both of you, for being with us here today. We have questions from all over the world. Everybody is very, very excited to talk to you. But I guess I'll just start it off by asking you, when you first heard about this project, what was your reaction to be able to be in it? You know, both of you knowing, of course, Jordan well.
Yeah, I mean, I just felt really blessed because I just wanted to watch it. So the fact that something arrived to me that I would want to watch and they were asking me to be in it, and it was Jordan as well, so I'm reconnecting with him, and then you're doing some genre stuff, and it was a challenge because there was a lot of non-dialogue scenes, and that's a challenge, you know. So I really enjoyed it, especially after Judas.
Yeah, I felt super blessed, excited to experience working with Jordan in this kind of way, with this genre and this kind of character. I really loved, what I read on the page of the character that I played, so I was excited to get into it.
So we have a question from Dorothy Dubasic. She says, for Daniel, this is your second movie with Jordan. How was this experience different from others?
Others what? That Get Out or others in general? I mean, she's not even on the line, so I'll just answer it. But yeah, so it was different it was just bigger. Do you know what I mean? Jordan was more confident. I understood like how it was to carry a scene more. I was it was just IMAX cameras were different. Do you know what I mean? Like it was just bigger. Everything about it was bigger, but we still cared about the intimate characters and the relationships within it.
Well, speaking of that, Brittany Murphy asked, Keke and Daniel, what was it like creating that sibling bond relationship during the filming of Nope?
I think that was the easiest part. I think we have a natural chemistry together, for whatever reason. I just think we vibe out. I love picking on Daniel. He's the funnest person to try and get out of being calm because he is so relaxed. So, I always like to just mess with him, and I think that's the same way with Emerald and OJ.
How is it for you, Daniel?
I hated every single moment. It's calm, man. It was good, man. Kiki's cool peoples, man. So we just like vibed. I was a fan of her before we worked. So then when Jordan mentioned that she was part of it, I was like, oh man. And also I was just happy that Keke was gonna have a moment. I saw that coming. I was like, oh yeah, definitely a role like this. You know what I'm saying? That makes me happy when I see like people that are like have the thing, get the opportunity to show what they have. So I love that, and then we just build it just naturally, open and keep communicating and just keep in step.
Well, in that sense, and talking about your roles, Carla Rodriguez says both of your characters are so incredibly different. What did you learn from each other as actors while portraying these roles?
Man.
I learned that, that's a good question. What did I learn from Keke?
I learned a lot from Daniel, and that's why I was so also very excited when Jordan told me that I was going to be working with Daniel, because I will never forget when I watched the Black Mirror episode that he started. I always bring it up. I know it's crazy because it's just, that was a short episode of something, but he really showed such a nuanced performance. Now I thought to myself, this is a great actor. I would, love to work with him. When you work with great actors, it only makes you better. And so when we did the film, I was just very excited on what I was going to learn from him. And he's just a very generous actor, very patient, listens, trusts himself, really does not second guess his instincts, which I think is so important that you can do sometimes. As an actor, because part of our job is to get approval or for somebody to say that was it. He doesn't have that. He kind of knows, intrinsically what's right to him. And I think that confidence also encourages the other person that's watching. I think I'd imagine that works so well with his relationship with as a filmmaker with Jordan, because he knows what he's trying to do, and it's good to see that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks.
You're welcome.
With Keke, I've found it hard to show joy and be natural. Do you know what I'm saying? And like be extroverted and natural with it. It's a very hard balance to do. is way harder than people realize. People look at like drama and think, but it's kind of really simple. Like, but in terms of like being joyous and exuberant, and then having a reality and a realness to it is very difficult. And Keke has that for free, like naturally. You know what I'm saying? She just got it, and then that was what I was taking in a lot. That the decision she made, I'm like, oh, that's how you do that. But I like, oh, that's how you can do that. I didn't see it that way. I didn't think of it like that. I never would arrive to that. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
That's crazy, Daniel.
Why is it crazy?
I just love you, man.
I just love the chemistry that you both have on screen, and also the bond between the siblings. OG being a man of, let's say, few words, and and then being the opposite. That leads to some humor there too, apart from everything that's going on, right?
It totally did. I mean, he has a really funny moment in the movie when he's in the car and he takes a look out to see if he wants to kind of check what's going on. He's just like, nope. I mean, just the deadpan straightness of that line got one of the biggest laughs, and it wasn't, it wasn't of trying to be a funny moment, but it was so funny.
No, it's cool. That's what I loved about the dynamic. It's the classic straight man funny woman. You know what I mean? It's like Emerald is there running around doing this, showing her that, and he is just not. And the more that he is not, and the more that she is, the funnier that it is. And I just love that Jordan wrote it in that way, that like, and just really, and then I feel what we both did on set is just stretched it even further. The like little moments, like even like scenes when you're on the thing, you're going, oh, what are you doing? And I said, I'm working. I said, do you want to help? Nope. And then she just walks away. That was like, I think that we made it up on set. So it's like, it's even stretched because I'm like, I'm doing this, and you're like, I'm gonna ask, but I'm not gonna pretend that I want to do that. I just think it was really funny.
Speaking of Jordan, Charles Gray would like to know, what were your favorite aspects of working with Jordan Peele as a collaborator and a director?
The collaborator, heavy. I mean, he, every director is different. No wrong or no right. But I think the way that he is a leader in being a director is by being very collaborative. He has a level of humility that I think really empowers everyone on set, while at the same time we're supported by his obvious and clear vision. He at the same time encourages us to take our artistic liberty to interpret that and what we can bring to the table with it. And then he, helps us along the process of refining what that might look like. But he allows us to inform him on the character that he created, which is insane. But he really trusts the actors and also the cinematographer and also, everyone. So his level of collaboration across the board is just like to be admired.
He's probably the most collaborative director I've worked with. He knows that you see it from a different point of view, so he just wants to hear it. And it's already, the thing is like a lot of the things that we would say on like about our characters is already in the script, but because he's so close to it, we're seeing it from a different point of view. So he goes, oh, that's what, and then he can be more aware and confident about what he's already doing. So then it just invites, just like we're making this together. Huh?
Shannon McGrew from Nightmarish Conjuring says, Daniel, every time something massively terrifying happens, whether to you or around you, you seem cool as a cucumber. Do you think you would react similarly to OJ if that would happen to you in real life?
Oh, if it was aliens, I wouldn't go to them. Like I'd be coolly walking away. Yeah, I'd be coolly getting a different Airbnb. Yeah.
And Angelique Jackson from Variety says, this movie gives a bit of commentary on the film industry and the need to feel seen within it. How did this story relate to your journey as actors?
It related to me a lot as a kid and how I interpret what being seen actually was, as opposed to actually truly being seen for who I am. And I think as it pertains to popularity, fame, and perception, as much as we think those things are like us being seen, especially like in the era that we're in now, like fame, popularity, that everybody wants to be seen in that way. But actually, you become the most unseen in those scenarios. And I've learned that firsthand. And so I really love how we explore that in the film because my relationship with being seen has been, so different since, I did my first big film at 11 years old.
I think essentially, I haven't even thought about this, but I think being seen in the sense that like, I think this game, it's like people feel like, oh, you can only do what they've seen you do.
Oof.
You know what I mean? And so then you feel like unseen, because it's like they're only, as opposed to like you're a person that can, that what I just did, I made that up, like, and now you're known for that. But that means they didn't see what you did and see you. They just think that's you. So then you're not seen. So that, I think that in that sense, and I see OJ when he started engaging with it with the way that he thought it was, it changed the relationship with it and how much the object showed itself. I'm not going to say too much, but that, yeah. So I think, yeah, that's how it relates to me in the industry and that.
So Miguel Morales from @nerd Brazil to Kiki says, you've experienced other horror productions mainly in TV. How is it now on the cinematographic, on the screen, on the big screen?
Man.
Like, no.
It was unique. I mean, and even though this is a similar genre to what I've been in before, it's nothing like any of those projects. It's so unique and different and have so many different elements, from action to adventure, and just a psychological thrilling aspect that really deepens the horror experience. And then there's also the really big heartfelt dynamic story between brother and sister. So I just felt like the scale of this film, both story-wise and visually, was just, I mean, unbelievable, really.
Well, they're telling me this is the last question. All I can say is congratulate both of you. Extraordinary roles and a really, really special movie. I think everybody's going to love it. Everybody's definitely very excited to see it. So thank you so much for being with us here today. And all the luck in the world.
Appreciate it. Take care, man. See you later, everyone.
See you later.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.